I'm not gonna lie, summertime is pretty overwhelming now that we're like going into the ending of summer, but the ending of summer simply means it's just gonna continue accumulating, continue stacking the insanity. It kind of feels like it's actually stacked. It brings me back all the way to the past when I first discovered stacking as a thing, and it was a fire thing basically. Even though sniper is also kind of doing that, but you don't actually do it unless whatever you're doing is actually sort of better each time and follows a storyline. You know, it has to be consistently better. I think I'm doing stacking. Well, I'm doing a lot of things, but maybe not the most clean version of doing everything. But if you're being a honest human being, you'll do this, then you also do the rewinds. So create a bunch of runes, fill in an empty space, whatever, try to do connections with people and outlook. Basically build the greatest tower of all time. And now when it comes to this thing, I mean, this year was pretty crazy as it was. I was growing mentally very, very rapidly. And, well, acquiring a few skills here and there. Again, I now use the filter, but I don't think it changes much. The voice filter. Oh, I want to have low voice. I don't know. I should have played around with it. 1 second. Basically, this video is nothing specific. I'm just like very, very anxiety induced, but I must not give in to that because that's not the point. I must focus on the superpowers that are floating around that will not actually, you know, make any impact to most people's lives. Even though, you know, like, people change. People grow into weird creatures that you wouldn't have expected. Most of them you can't touch or interact. You might be able to see them on Facebook or whatever, or social media in general. But yeah, most of them are not real. And the superpowers that rain down from the sun to everyone at summertime, I mean, it's a thing that you have to learn how to capture. You have to learn how to stack and not topple your tower. So potentially this is the theme of the video, is learning how to not to topple yourself down, not to give in to fears or temptations or some bullshit that would topple. So the very first thing to do is to bake a cake, is to use our superpowers that we already have. So, and honestly, that's kind of like the genuine thing to do, is to just accept that most of the superpowers are just gonna fly by and they don't give a fuck about you, but they do want to interact in a slight way. One of which happened very recently, as I upload Sniper Wolf's video, Sniper Wolf Drama number 4. I've never received that many dislikes without receiving a like before. Somehow people are just, you know, decisively picking a side, like as if Jax Films is a superhero or a super duper villain or something, unstoppable force, a god, the devil or something. Otherwise, you can't pick the side. You would never pick the super villain side and you would always pick superhero side, you also have to always pick the devil side and never the God side, because God doesn't want to share powers, and devil is not gonna let you escape anyways. But so the game just flips. But let's not focus on extremes that cannot possibly happen unless you give your life away. Then the devil can come, or God can come, based on you just being dead inside for whatever reason. But besides those two extremes, as I've said, superhero or super heart will attract, and super villain will wow, that works. Super villain just repels. However, when it comes to heroes and villains, you don't know which side to pick. You should never really know. So the fact that it's so decisive, it's kind of fucking weird, right? People are picking a side so quickly. Has the devil showed up? The only two times when I was able to trigger this sort of effect was when I made a shitty thumbnail for Thunderfoot, so everyone thinks he's busted, but I just was lazy, you know. But somehow I attracted so many people. I'm like, damn, it's still a world record, because even if you put one like and multiply by 3, this is still pretty decent score, but I still haven't received a like. We don't know how it's gonna match. And please stay away from this, alright? Don't mess around with likes, dislikes. It's only for fucking NPCs to eat, basically. For ants and rats. It's garbage. It's cheese. If you want to interact, then you just let me know in my Discord. That's about it. And then the other time when this was happening, but I didn't go all the way because it wasn't too popular. You know, I was bitching around. It was my first bitch move. And I say in a toxic way about my behavior, but like other people were out competing my toxicity, right? I was just like uncomfortable expressing myself, opinionated and whatnot. But in this case, I'm opinionated and I'm taking the opposite side of where most people go. You know, the anti-pitchfork side. And I'm not even faced. I'm fearless because like they don't exist. You guys can't do shit. You can't organize, you can't protest against a YouTuber. You can't do shit. You can type in your comments and waste your time. And the more time people waste on Sniper Wolf, the more she grows in power. Like, that probably was just a little twist that somehow she knew how to do. To not credit anyone. Because maybe people don't need that credit. I don't know. We don't ask that. We just assume. Because Jack's film said so. Ugh, it's just the stupidest drama ever. But as long as it benefits a woman, that looks pretty fucking juicy. And has my sister personality, so I guess, or personality to be my sister. So I'll take it, man. I will appreciate as much as I can. But so that's that. There's a piece of that going on, potentially a whole centerpiece that I have to appreciate of the tower, and I have to like stack things around it potentially, and collect clues like that, like dislikes. I'm okay with dislikes. I think dislikes are 10 times better than likes. in this occasion. But in this occasion, we're setting like a world record. The first like until it shows up, we can just like treat this as 11 squared. I like triangles, but literally squared. How about that? We can square the 11. Because the higher we stack, the more exponential the impact of the tower actually is. And, you know, if I ever could, you know, ask for the sun to give me superpower, might as well let me keep the centerpiece. Let me be the master of this drama in the first place. Because a lot of people can cover drama, but they will never, like, side with anything. They will never be opinionated enough to do anything. So getting people's reaction like that is very, very difficult. It is incredibly difficult. Now, and if you don't expect it, like, it hits you quite hard. It's like, what? I'm just protecting a woman here. But yeah, like, people are actually like so quickly brainwashed in that sense. And Jack's films just kind of unlocked his superpower, where he's like, oh, I can just get upset and send an army against an impenetrable wall, so all of these insects are just gonna fucking get crushed by their own egos, you know? The faster you go, the more damage you will take, because it's impenetrable wall. And they know it. They feel all of these things. They just don't want to admit it. They don't want to combine forces properly and have discussions. Because if they wanted to do that, you can do that here. You can do that in front of me and be like, drain my respect. Instead of me focusing on Sniper Wolf or someone or Jack's films, I'll just focus on people actually connecting with each other. You don't even have to connect to me. Just show how powerful you are. I'll make a video about it. You know, I have no choice. But now that I've said it, I guess you wasted your opportunity. Better luck next year. I guess if I say anything, and this is the power of honesty and just doing things, it's just voice alone. Voice is like the craziest superpower ever, where you can say things and all of a sudden it may not work. It may not work against you anymore. It may not be used against you. Like, police says everything you say will be used against you. It's actually the silence that can be used against you more often. So that's pretty painful. Which is why I immediately say to Sniper Wolf, or send a message overall that she is talking, she's just continuing making daily videos, and you just fell into her trap, where she is interacting with the hatred by just working, continue to work, like nothing happened, nothing is happening. It's the most infuriating thing that you will never defeat is just a person who's working, technically expressing her opinion, technically chilling. Like, there's no way you can beat that shit. And, you know, but it will warm her heart, I would imagine, if you care so much in the wrong way. So, do your self-sacrifice. And, it opens up another can of worms, but yeah. Your silence will be used against you. Not your words. People learn to be silent. Technically, what police says is true. It's going to be used against you. Because often enough police and medical science or judges, basically. Like, technically, like, you have medical science and the judges actually stand on top. They're not policing people. They're actually enforcing medications and all that shit. Police just wants to, you know, enforce peacekeeping. So there has to be something above police who act like gods, technically, who want to just remove all the weapons you might have, and including your body as a weapon. Just remove that, if possible. Very difficult, though. You never know when it's going to backfire. Them electrocuting people, I have a feeling that some people might have an electric resistance and might even be able to use electricity as such a power move that it will just knock out the policeman or policemen, or explode their car, or create a nuclear weapon if they electrocute a wrong person. You know, you never know when electrocution is going to kill or turn you into a superhero. You never know. So they're playing with, you know, godlike abilities, I would say. Because when lightning strikes, not by your own demand, but by someone else's decision, now we're playing with luck. Now we're playing with a next level definition, or just playing with destiny. But what is above police that I am not seeing here? Because, like, again, we have judges, we have medical bullshit. What am I missing here? Is that therapy? Yeah, interrogation absolutely makes sense. The four pillars, basically, some stacked on top of the others, to crisscross, basically, idiots who come close. Therapy is basically just as weaponized as police medication, or medics, or doctors. I don't even know, man. It should be a D, honestly, because M is like associated with me and Monica and all that shit. It's a D. It's a jaded fucking pillar. Alright. So, I'll just leave it here because I'm running out of stamina for this shit. But, like, yeah, I don't want to be anxious when summer hits. So let's figure out a way to make that cake that we wanted. How do we keep the tower from collapsing? And in a way, like, when you see all these superpowers floating around, they're not yours. They're just teasers. They're temptations. If you see superpowers, that means you're stacking up a tower even without you realizing. And usually in summertime, you're able to do that, right? So that's a very interesting thing. Realize that in summertime, you naturally stack higher. All right, because there's a lot of disturbances around. There's more people walking around. You get more energy. You're more active. There's less things to worry about in a way. Maybe you can meet more people, like friends. You can talk to more people, potentially, because they're also active. But doesn't mean they're less toxic. In fact, it's probably the opposite, because everyone is trying to, like, topple each other's towers. It's actually a good time to isolate yourself, in fact. Even though COVID told us otherwise. COVID lied. You have to isolate in summer. Heat does not kill bacteria. Heat actually just amplifies all kinds of toxic shit, unless you shower. All right, shower, stay cool, all that stuff. This is the time when your body is like the most unstable, and you have to pay attention, basically, of how you feel. And you will never feel safe outside when there's a lot of shit going on. You'll never be able to pay enough attention to mitigate potential damage. So it's really, really important to try not to get into contact with people, even though you might want to really badly. But what people also want to do is just go to the beach, which is a different sort of isolation anyways, which is away from your home anyways, all the way into the sun. You're going to be fried. You're going to get too much energy. It's not good for you. It would be good for me if I had one friend. We go to the beach, maybe get a little bit of sunlight, but I still need to know where to put that fucking energy in. And you know, all these superpowers of floating around, I could be so much different of a human being, right? But instead I have to like strategize to such a high level that no one even recognizes for some reason that I'm strategizing. I don't even know what's going on. What is on the receiving end over there behind the screen? What's going on? Am I not being treated as smart? Am I supposed to be disrespected? Well, I never knew, because I never had enough friends or following or anything that would just keep me going. You know, even if following showed up and said something, it disappears after a couple of weeks minimum, right? Like it's kind of weird in that sense. And I want to keep an eye on people, but right now we have established that it's YouTube where my eyesight is, you know, focused upon. And people sort of feel that, and perhaps they respect the vibe that I'm interested in something bigger than they are. But they don't respect it enough to actually, you know, try and chase it, which is like the normal thing to do. You chase it not because you're desperate, but because you can make the most impact right now. The first time you get an idea, an opportunity, you chase that. It's just normal. So if you pick up the vibe that I'm interested in YouTube, you have to start uploading, doing something just to play around. Maybe something will happen, right? Maybe something will spark. So clearly a good advice is, well, try interesting things. Unfortunately, I cannot do that, but that's why I'm oblivious to that. I can sort of, I do try to go outside now. And I underestimate myself in this case. Huh. Then how do I put this together? Because I have to be flawless. I can't just... One thing I don't want to try, though, is twisting. Alright, try to deceive people. And, stay honest. Any bad intentions are amplified. They're amplified because, you know, the people will try and topple your fucking tower so they don't feel threatened by your presence. But if you're honest, it's actually very difficult. Like, people will sense, well, first of all, my infinite amount of weaknesses that I have. And so I'll fight back, and if I win, they're just going to be a part of my tower now. They're all the resources that they have gathered, I'll just use on my tower. Congratulations. And it's very likely that, you know, You don't mess around with poor people because you can't win. You can't win that fight, unfortunately. Poor people are kind of like deceptively powerful. It's just they never really found an opportunity that works for them. And it's very difficult to give them the opportunity. Unless you know what you're doing. So trying interesting things, there's plenty of things you can try in summer, right? Well, probably we can specify or just focus on what interesting actually means, right? Don't get bored or exhausted. The boredom comes in two ways. You either like literally don't know what to do, even though people are doing things, but like you want to do something like very, very unique. And if you're searching for too unique of a thing, you might not get anywhere with that. And you can also get exhausted by doing too many things. So, like, I want to do a lot of video ideas, as I've mentioned in the start of the video, but everything always collapses into something more powerful. So I have to capture not one video idea, but something that, you know, has a cluster of ideas all together. And right now, just tackling the season itself. Wait 1 second. So we have 31 days for this month, and I will report on the most successful month I ever had, simply because I split my card game channel with this channel, with my main channel, and potentially changing my voice just a little bit is actually going to bump by 10%, just like buying a new microphone probably bumped by 10%. The effect of getting more views, like these are pretty important multipliers. All right, when it comes to, you know, notoriety on YouTube, you are playing with multipliers. You're not playing with linear growth by any means. You're playing with exponential growth. That means you're playing with multipliers, something that would make you stand out because you have a special ability or something, special trait. I'm not going to talk about multipliers. It's a pretty big topic that I will leave for Mr. Beast to tackle. In fact, it's probably going to be the ending. Yes, multiplier is pretty goddamn big thing. But I mentioned in my video, Sniper Wolf was like a woman and she was single. So that's like a 10 times multiplier over anything else. Like, there's nothing more attractive than a single woman. Tell me what's more attractive. It's like a superhero. A single man, I don't feel attractive as a single man. But the moment I surround by spiritual energies of women, then I feel attracted. Then I feel really powerful. I almost feel finally repulsive enough to actually repel all the bad things in my life. You know, like, because as a man, I just attracted bad things because I wasn't repelling enough. I wasn't strong enough. And now I am. Finally, I can feel that it's very liberating. But it's also like very annoying that I was being suffocated this much. So now I have to, you know, take my vengeance, take my revenge, turn my life into a movie, make everyone the bad guy until they lose their fucking cool, and see what happens. Hopefully I don't get chased in the streets, but like, for fuck's sake, I need some respect, you know. Because this is like unacceptable amount of like disconnection in society in general, creating so much loneliness. And like, it's weird, you're talking to a person, right? You're talking to a person that you know, and they just sit there and they're alone. And it's like, bro, like, we're not hanging out, like, let's add more people into conversation. And no, they just want to stay alone for some reason. They're just very comfortable with having privacy. I'm not comfortable with privacy forever. Like, yeah, we can talk for a certain amount of time until we're going to get bored and we need a new person to spice things up. And it wasn't happening. I wasn't like, oh, here's a new person that I've never met before. It's not on online space is like the easiest thing to do. I was even like forcing that shit to happen. Like pursuing my friends' girlfriends. Not in terms of any way, it's just digitally pursuing her, like, or saying hi to her and seeing what happens. And she just fucking flips on me. I'm like, oh, I guess we're still alone. I still talk to a stranger who wants to be alone and has no directions to anything. And that's one thing that scares me the most, is like how disconnected people are and how they don't understand how to even, keep the conversation going. If I have a torchlight and you get to hold the torchlight, you have to pass it to the other person if you don't want to fucking hold it. You can't just drop it on the ground and be like, we're alone now. That is fucking stupid, right? Is that some kind of strategy, some kind of monstrosity strategy to just enforce loneliness onto people? Is that fucking normal? Yeah, the only time a new person was introduced that I fucking remember vividly, it's like my friend found a girlfriend, and that girlfriend was a tiny crush that I had at school. I was like very attracted to that girl, and I wanted to figure out more. Technically, I had a handful of little crushes like that, but that one stood out, like an introvert and all that shit. And so I wasn't introduced to a new person. I was sort of like, oh, here's the person I will spend time with. Hope you're happy. And I'm like, shit, magic happens. I like her too. Well, congratulations. And yeah, there's so many twisted, tangled bullshit things in my life that I wasn't able to take control of. And I'm not gonna say and admit that it's too late. It's not fucking too late. It's just not relevant. As they think they might have created some kind of relevant, force against me or whatever. Or they have taken something relevant from me. Well, if it was easy to take something away from me, I guess you can keep it, but maybe you shouldn't have done that, And maybe Sniper Wolf has a similar story where things are being taken away from her, and it's like, well, you'll have a very easy time taking that away from me. Keep doing that now, whenever you feel like it. But see, like, it's a very weird dynamic where a man steps in and now he's able to abuse a woman in a way just because he said so. But it's a weird mix of awareness and toxic masculinity in a way. It's like, how do we pursue this big YouTuber? Once you answer that question, then congratulations, you got it. But no, you did not fucking answer the question. Now I make much better content than most people on the platform. I just can't refine this content. I don't have editors. But I make one of the best contents, like top 10% for sure. When it comes to big creators even. So let's see, plus 100,000 subscribers, top 10% best content. That's how I feel. I'm still not the best. That would put me in 1%, but like, I do feel like I'm underappreciated being silenced and left alone, and people just abuse that further, right? So in Europe, I get to be alone and dried out, priced out, basically. So I cannot actually get anything valuable happening in my life. And when I project my intentions on Americans, they're like, oh my God, you're a virgin, you're that, you're broken, then this and that way, and all that shit. There's no pity. It's just abuse on both sides. Both of them just equally as abusive, trying to rip me apart in a way, which is a terrible image to hold in your head, because I don't want to hold it, but other people do. Other people behave that way. Like, we're becoming more and more savage. We're becoming, it's kind of like, World War III. It's not being fought by countries or some kind of historical events are not happening. We just have too many people. So we fight just by breathing, by releasing CO2, and someone is like, oh my God, you released so much CO2. You must stop breathing this often. What the fuck are you doing? This is what we are heading towards. We're just literally uncomfortable by existing next to other people. That's the World War III that we live in, which is hilarious. We're uncomfortable existing next to other people. Like, it's the greatest joke of all time, to be honest. Again, I'm not saying that World War III is just a meme. Alright? Because a meme got started and it never wants to really end. So it's like, well, what's going to be the definition of World War III? Well, we didn't define World War in the first place, because I don't know the definition. And definitions are really fun to actually learn. So we didn't actually, we just like concede, right? Like, whoever is going to define World War is going to, well, define it again. And it's like, who's going to do it? Who defines these things? Who decides? Because they have to have a definition too. They have to know when it happens. Well, it happens when the war happens. Not all wars are the same. And this might never happen ever again. But it has to happen because we have increasingly better capacity to hold concepts, especially now with all the technology. We can hold more concepts, even if they are toxic. But we can also like delay toxic things as well. So I guess that's fine. But also, we probably, like, since World War I, we've also gotten the superpower of verifying history, where we can actually know what happened very precisely during that war. And from that point, we will always have it in very precise terms in history, and there's nothing we can do to actually change it. Now, that would be a pretty good definition for a world war, right? We just have to define it, how it's being fought and what triggers it, and how, how mad people have to be. Because I don't think it's about the war, it's about people's willingness to fight and emit violence. It's always about that, because, a riot could turn into a war very easily, but wouldn't be defined as a war for a long time. If a country goes from a pretty developed country into a third world country, it's technically has internal issues and internally suffering from some kind of war. Yeah. But yeah, let's not focus too much here, because it's a pretty brutal topic. Where else can we go from here? Because there's more things. I don't even have to focus on my own content. Moon shows up every now and then now, so what? He shows up every week? Is it that easy? I guess higher. No, it's not even a week. That's why I was so brutally burnt out to see this video. These videos are long and like you have to watch them in a way and react to them. So I want to do that right now, react to one of these. Also, you can see my fifth video was blowing up significantly about Sniper Wolf. Having 100. Technically, this spike is about the fourth one, and now we're getting into the fifth one. So I'm not necessarily getting more views, but this is like very, very quick response. Very quick response. Well, technically just replaced the video, so we're having a daily or nightly spike. Very interesting to observe these things. I don't know. I guess this guy is bringing up an interesting point. I have the European multiplier. Being a European and being able to actually make coherent videos, there's something fucking wrong with you, basically. That's what it is. Either something is very wrong with you or your life. Which is really good that you showed up on YouTube, you know. Europe can be, like, genuinely saved by people who just willing to hop in and just enjoy this simple sort of work that could potentially just spiral out of control. All right? But you must not let it spiral out of control. You must find friends that would join the ride, all right? So if I start exploding and getting monetized or something, I will offer people just kind of like a minimum wage job to just upload videos, see what happens. I want to see what happens when they do YouTube stuff, and I'm coaching them a little bit. And then if they don't like it, you know, they can just move on. If they like it, I'll try to keep the hook as long as possible, but I won't be able to supply minimum wage forever. I just want, and once they become toxic or whatever, so it is what it is. You know, I'm enjoying my time on YouTube. Whatever pings me, whatever piques my interest. Now I've collected ideas of what I want to do. There's these guys, fucking shadow people, who show up in very weird ways in your life. Like, it's bizarre. Bizarre the way they show up. They kind of just like toss themselves around, bounce around, and it's like, oh, oops, I guess I'm in deep space. I didn't mean to do that. Why am I here? Yeah, I don't know either. But you have to take the opportunity as it's presented. Welcome to Dead Space, shadow person. Also, that's a weird story that Dark Matter is going through. At summertime, getting fucking zapparoonies. It's the fucking lightning strike through the house, frying everything basically. Isn't that cool? Or isn't that convenient? Is that what you? No, but like he even shows the fucking. Wait. The fried something else, right?
Didn't just trip our certain circuit breakers, it literally physically split them in half.
Yeah, I mean that's something. But it is, he's currently in hiding. I mean, now we understand how he's treating God, basically. And it is a very weird situation where you talk about God so much, and then your house gets struck by lightning like this. Like, I've never seen anything like this. This is bizarre. Bizarre. And he gets a lightning strike after he makes a bunch of rant videos. He pisses me off in a way. Halfway there, But the last rant video wasn't that bad. Unless it was because I don't know the context. You know, he's bringing up his wife and his marriage. And if you don't know the context, perhaps it feels good and moral, but we don't know what he's referring to actually, of how solid his marriage actually is. I still don't want to attack the integrity of marriages. Like, if you've been with someone for long enough, like, well, no, there's always some fucking weird shit. There's always in relationships, it's always fucking weird. I'm like suspicious about everything all the time. I just can't help it because I have been so abused. It feels like I can't. I've been abused basically by carelessness and unfriendliness of people. It's so annoying to see that just worldwide, spread out. Again, it's really, really powerful to like give yourself incentive to talk to a microphone, to interact. Like, you will feel way more alive. And for Europeans, like, this is like a perfect time to come alive. Especially when the apocalypse happens. Like, they need to come alive now. By all means, like mastering this technology. Or just learning English to begin with. Because that can be tough. I would be willing to, you know, coach people, like do whatever, just to have friends around. Do whatever, bro. Because now I just respect anyone who fucking happens to be friendly, happens to value this virtue and whatnot. And caring friendliness, like, yeah. Right now, so you basically have to open your mind to the superpowers available. I'll just give a quick list, right? Mind reading is kind of garbage, is the worst one, because you don't want invasive thoughts in your head of what other people think. Like, when people think about mind reading, it's like, oh, let's just focus on a person and read their thoughts. But that's mind stealing. It's not mind reading. Mind reading is like, what are people thinking about around you? And it's like you realize you kind of just feel that anyways. But, you know, open your mind to spiritual energy. And amplify your gratitude towards digital powers that you already have. So basically, I think in TikTok right now, everyone is talking about aliens, and I wipe my ass with aliens. But I think what the government is trying to do right now is trying to find shock values. Like, what is the shocking thing that would shock people this summer? You know, potentially the government operates in a whole fucking nother level that we can't even comprehend, bro. Can't even comprehend. So, they would try like, okay, are people interested in alien story? What's going on? And maybe they are getting in trouble, like throwing something really big. And everyone is just kind of like laughing. I was like, that doesn't matter. Try something bigger, Mr. Government. But that's also like playing with fire, because like, what are they gonna do after aliens, man? Now they're gonna have a chain of events. Hopefully nothing happens. I'm just speculating. But yeah, the cool thing about spiritual energy is plenty of things are actually available to you. You just don't open your mind to it. Like, there's plenty of living creatures around you, plenty of energies. Coincidences can happen, and you have to like read them all the time instead of dismissing them and throwing into the trash. And being grateful for digital powers. Like, you can connect and talk to any person. So whenever you feel like, just fucking connect. Who cares, right? You're not, they're not gonna pursue you or bother you. You just like fucking throwing intention out there, seeing what happens. They don't like you most of the time. That's fine. At least they know that you exist. So just do that. I wouldn't do that. Like, I do like private conversations a bit more than just commenting randomly all over photos or some bullshit like that. Because that's more of a like a weird contributive motion, right? Like, you post under a photo just to like thumbs up in a way. But if there's something meaningful you can say, like I can just say that. It's just in public, people are so sensitive that if you say something weird, they're just gonna block you. But in private, they're just gonna ignore you. So it's like, pick your poison. You know, it's pick your poison. So yeah, you can connect to anyone in the world and create new ideas, or you can create connections to anyone. There's, you know, you can make a mix of things, which is technically how it's supposed to work and how my channel works. I'm trying to connect to people by creating these connections myself, because I'm pretty sure that they're not going to do it for me, you know. And as a creator, I have to respect, if I want to connect with other people, I have to respect as a creator to just do their work by myself, you know, because they're doing their thing, I can do my thing. And if my thing is connecting to people, then it's still just my thing. It might not succeed. It might not turn into collaborations. I believe in it very, very much. And the more hatred I get towards everything, like, I just believe it even more, because, like, it makes no sense. It's just nonsensical. What comments did I receive? Because there should be plenty. So far, people are actually bumping this thing down to 26, which is even lower. Like, you never know what you're gonna get. Fucking box of chocolate, bro. With box of chocolate, you know you get chocolate, bro. And I would never buy a box of chocolate anyways. I would just buy chocolate if I want chocolate. But this is like, this is weird. So bizarre. I literally get the opposite of what I fucking demand. I literally just demand out of people. Demand people to fucking listen and all that shit. It's like, it's the most basic thing. It's like, but the other people want to be like, hey, I have power to disobey your demands. And it's like, fuck yeah, you do. You can disrespect me to the max and just run away and find privacy. You probably need to buy a private island from Mr. Beast, because you fucking will have to run away into the depths of oblivion to try and, you know, run away from my attempt to communicate with people. Fucking hell, bro. It's quite a beautiful thing if you go back into my channel and fuck this thing where I have to search. Ugh, it's the most disgusting thing. But you go to my channel, you go all the way down into February 14, which is supposed to be Valentine's Day. Funny thing you're gonna find of what I dedicated Valentine's Day for. And it happens to be almost there, birthday, very close, over here. What did I say, though? Yeah, I guess she's gonna lose the identity. It's kind of pretty cool. All right, so the first hour is complete. I'm gonna go to sleep. We'll see what I'll wake up to, what kind of fucking apocalyptic view count or whatever. Because, also Sniper is about to get 5,000. It's a pretty big deal, pretty big milestone for a random person to get. For a power puff, it's nothing. We got 10,000 with all of them. But Sniper, any other council member. Well, now council members are at 5,000 in general. That is pretty crazy. In order to be in council, you now have to cross this. That's pretty cool. I guess that's another thing. People want to pretend that you're stacking is like, because you're stacking so high and they're just gonna allow you to do that continuously because they're gonna burn it down anyways. But what if I fucking jinx the shit out of them and they can't burn it down? What if it gets saved, this little stack of things? And again, the biggest stack is now a Sniper Wolf nonsense, which has a level 5 stack. But now because I shortened my videos into 1 hour, it doesn't feel like it's level 5. But then again, I do make thumbnails slightly better each time. So I guess it does make it pretty good. I'm like very, very disappointed in people to see so much hatred, so much dislike of like whatever the current thing is, you have to support the current thing and you cannot go against it. There's no possible opinion that you could have against the current thing. It's just impossible. And it's like, what the fuck? You just do it by default. You do debates and all that shit, and you can't just pinpoint something that you're right about and everyone is wrong about, and she's just a thief. You just figure out how to label that person. For so long, we couldn't do that somehow. Like, if something was in front of our noses, you can't just discover it and be like, oh my god, guys, I know exactly what's going on. No, that's not gonna happen. You don't know exactly what's going on. Honestly, we could secretly celebrate 5,000 with Sniper Wolf. Just check her TikTok. Do a little bit of date, because I have something called TikTok now. And that can be juiced up real fast. Only Ava and Kira a little bit, and Bella at Porch. But I did the first date with Ava Max, because that accumulated somehow. And then I left, because I was overwhelmed, I guess. Let's see if Sniper can overwhelm me, because seeing moving pictures, that's next level. But at the same time, I'm not impressed by things I've seen so far. From my memory, that is. We'll see. Again, I have to go to sleep and I have to knock myself out, and this is the most appropriate way to go down. Is to appreciate something that already spiced the day up quite significantly. You know, the weirdest vibe that I got is like, I'm chilling at summer, right? That's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to chill under the sun like this, the dumbest thing, to try and get a tan or whatever. That's stupid. To go to TanaCon, bro, don't do that. But it's so fucking stupid, man. It's like, you almost like know it's gonna happen. You're gonna get a tan in TanaCon. You just know. And you're gonna get some condoms or whatever. TanaCon. you got two things. You got tan and condoms. Wow. Isn't that crazy? You didn't got scammed. What? Nobody got scammed. It's like Tana is also innocent completely. She just cried victoriously, you know, to Shane Dawson. Honestly, the way to praise Shane is just to watch his old documentaries and nothing else actually matters. Just to rewatch that shit in new perspective. While we're doing the Ring of Fire, I should do that. Absolutely. Anyways. So the vibe is, I'm chilling, it's summertime, no one's supposed to do extreme stunts anyways. And I kind of lost the idea. 1 second. Oh yeah, and other people can't really do that. And so they want to just do the trendy thing. And whoever is kind of ruining the fun, ruining the party, is like the evil person. But I'm like, that's how summer works. You're not supposed to like go into extremes, as I've said. And to attack someone is pretty extreme. You can have a little bit of a debate, but making it one-sided, well, I will activate all the superpowers that I have just to try and fucking level the playfield a little bit. No problemo. We can stack all the way to infinity if I have to showcase my powers. That I'm not afraid, bro. I will slow down the progress as much as possible, but I'm not afraid to just protect the sister, man. The sister, the smartass, that just does a few lazy, you know, glitchy things that could be twisted all the way around. Because I do that too. I had body odor. You can twist that around. I was stressed. I was put under pressure. You're not supposed to do that to people. And you'll be judged for that behavior. For like sucking up the energy of like, oh, the body odor smells really bad and there's nothing we can do about it. And you had to shower at home. And it's just all these fucking stupid things that pissed me off. You're gonna get that in Mr. Beast video as well. We're gonna talk about it. Part 5? I think it's part 5. Now... No, it's part 4. Actually, this is something I will be stacking a lot further. Above and beyond. So Sniper Wolf is probably just a distraction. Aliens are a distraction. Alright. Anyways. So yeah, it's very interesting to see people's extreme reaction that it's kind of breaking the world record of the amount of dislikes I've ever received in consecutively received them without getting a like, without any sort of appreciation, just to like acknowledge like I put effort into this. I mean, someone respected me in the comments, but they didn't turn around and just like, no, we're doing this thing right now, and you're doing that other thing, and that's very offensive, and there's nobody to sponsor you. And I was in that situation emotionally. I felt like I needed sponsors. I was like super duper lonely and under a lot of pressure. I wanted someone to like step in and be like, fuck, let's not make it too easy. You know, like if you make things too easy, you don't actually win that easily anyways. Actually create a much more powerful enemy for yourself by allowing Sniper Wolf to become like fucking legendary creature that got attacked. You know, just like Onision is legendary, but he kind of bailed the platform. I don't think Sniper Wolf has a reason to bail anything. All right, just because she got attacked. And again, not everything is successful. I think Jax Films is also alone in this situation and just being a very, very disturbing person in a way. Because there's some things that are very disturbing about him, and he's not on the moral high ground in any way. He's just in a different perspective, trying to save fucking people who are left behind. A little bit negligently, but it's just he's complaining about such a small piece of such a huge puzzle. It's almost like you built Mona Lisa and you just took out one piece just to trigger people off, just to piss people off, and it's just like that's exactly what she wants, just to piss you off. Because you're just a fucking loser if you lose yourself in hatred. Like, probably she's a master of that stuff secretly, and I don't know because I haven't explored it yet fully, right? So, all right, I'm gonna go to sleep. We're not gonna talk about Sniper Wolf for too much. This is not the video about that. I'm just like flabbergasted by the whole vibe surrounding it, the summer idea as well. By the way, these people came up with a name against the opposition, fucking calling me Dick Rider. Is that the best you have? Because I will still remain virgin, and even if I write Dick, I will remain virgin, I believe. So that sucks. Doesn't even solve my problems. So technically, that's definitely not what I want in my life, and I'm not pursuing that. I don't know what that means, bro. At this point, they're just fucking tripping balls and talking about aliens. That's all that is happening right now. While I wipe my ass with aliens every day. It was just a completely normal occurrence. Wait, I need to laugh. I need some laughing gas. Tell me, what's wrong with my computer?
Suspended in your computer.
You want me to pay for something, don't you?
No, sir. It's free of cost.
It's free?
It's free of cost.
What's that?
Don't be afraid. It's free of cost. Be at your computer.
I didn't understand that.
If someone doesn't understand you, hand the headset to your neighbor.
I mean, it seems pretty fair.
Yeah, hello?
Hello.
Yeah, sir, your call has been transferred. This side Rachel. Actually, sir, this is the authorized computer service center, and even I have your computer.
I just love them saying computer, bro. Computer? Here's some laughing gas, bro. Boom, boom, boom. Gonna get there. It's taking a while. 3, 2, 1. Here you go. It was pretty sweet. Which is impossible because we're like cute together. Oh, you know what's gonna happen, bro. If she's my council member and just got me teared up all of a sudden, I have to respect it, man. 23rd. I'm gonna do a bonus Mr. Beast episode because she's a new council member from the ashes rising. And Mr. Beast, well, lost control over his React channel. So might as well fucking battle it out. Mr. Beast versus Sniper. Is it really that relevant that Mr. Beast, highlighted creators? What if Sniper just made better content? Look at this shit, man. You gotta wake up to this. I'm telling you, these fucking weirdos, shadow people. I got it, guys. I got it. Worst part. I will record this. Oh, wait. Audio file of the size of your pee-pee. You can hear if you listen very closely. You know, Peter Pie still measures pee-pees. You know, you just have to like lean in very closely. Ah, yes, we also need another thing. Not really a cake, but it probably could be. Why not? I'll show you and it's gonna be clear. The way to treat certain people. Never resent celebrities. You know. They are mostly working for you, no matter what happens, what kind of drama happens. If they start hiding in the shadows, like, then they have decided that it's too difficult to keep up. You know, it's not for them to do the work anymore. But celebrities are the ones, you know, doing such a good work that everyone knows about them, and you kind of not supposed to resent them. Neither one of them. The second group is never trust a normie, you know. They are looking for self-interest. And they could be in their own little group, doing their own thing. And you're not supposed to trust them and give them things and let them basically bother you too much or whatever. And they could be scheming a bunch of weird things. They often get bored. And besides riots, I mean, I went to the shop right now, and it's the same fucking body odor. How it flips. The same fucking theme of, like, I feel uncomfortable. People are talking under my nose. They're fucking circling around me all of a sudden. Out of nowhere. You know, how the fuck did that happen? What a coincidence, right? Should I fucking carry a knife to defend myself? And I will have to. Now I will have to carry a weapon to defend myself. Because that's fucking disturbing, bro. I guess we can all applaud the invention of a fork. Wow. How cool is that? Can't separate these two items, unfortunately. So yeah, if you wanna, you know, flip the body odor around of like, oh, yeah, I'm full of fear. Except I do have a weapon. So be careful. I might know how to use it very efficiently, you know. And fork makes me hungry. So that's a new fucking item in my inventory if people fucking piss me off. The previous day. I'm not gonna carry the fork all the time. And if they jump on me, well, I will use whatever it takes. I would rather be holding a fork in my hands. And I can lick the fork to make them uncomfortable. But for fuck's sake, man. Welcome to summertime. When you get fucking sweaty and smelly and people fucking treat it as the end of the world. To try and make you even more uncomfortable. Because it's so fucking fun to, you know, fight the good fights, the moral fights, when you're fucking working minimum wage and just dragging yourself along like a fucking corpse. The first thing you're wishing for is just to die a quick death, which is respectable. I cannot trust the person though. You know, it might be very difficult to achieve that. With all the fucking puzzles and noises, man. And discomfort at the same time. Which technically can be unleashed, basically. That's what's going on. If people making you uncomfortable, you probably have some hidden potential energy that just can wreck the whole fucking place. So they can't touch you, basically. But yeah, whatever. Never befriend a shadow. They don't really care, you know. But in a way, it's like, but I do care. So the dynamic is different. And if I talk about myself as a shadow person, then yeah, it's gonna be fucking a miserable and lonely life, you know, because I cannot get friends that way. I think that's the way it goes. But there's something else you can do. You can know about them. You can potentially check them out. But maybe never be close friends. I mean, you can be sort of known by the shadow and be followed, as the name suggests. You can have shadows as followers. It's completely fine. But don't be close friends, because, like, they don't know how to care. They don't know how to lead you in any way. They just want to be behind you. Not necessarily, like, they're not trustworthy. They're probably way more trustworthy than a normie. A normie is going to stab you in the back whenever. But a shadow is probably going to help you out if you fall down. It's like, get up, bro. We got to keep moving or whatever. So, but don't treat it as like a close friendship. It's just like they need your help, not the other way around. They can't help you. So I guess I would never say don't care, because, like, that's a terrible thing to say. They can't help you. They can only, like, trigger you and push you around. And it's not a violent thing, because they're lonely anyways. And it's like a sad feeling, right? That you're supposed to have concerning them. And then never bother a dead person. They can give you, they can trade death to you. Potentially either I will just give you free death, or I will give you my death, and I will no longer be a dead person. So maybe, you know, and the people are bothering me constantly. So I'm like, oh, death to you, 10% of death to you, 10% discount of death to you. Anyone who fucking bothers me and wastes my time, death to them. It's, you know, they will just have to linger around and have me stuck in their brains. Like, there's no other way around it. So here you go. There's 4 rules written by, you know, different sections of society there are dead people. There are people dead inside, homeless, all kinds of poor, and completely isolated people. And I do feel that way because it's very difficult to trust anyone or make friends from this position as well. But it's kind of like, wait, did I self-induced this nonsense? But no, my mom feels like a normie, to be honest, or she's trying to act like a normie. And in a way, whatever you're trying to act as, it kind of just like works. Because you basically fake it until you make it. You can pretend to be a celebrity and it will work, but you have to like actually fake it. Actually talk like celebrity and do all the things. And people sort of like treat you that way as well. It's just your lifespan is gonna fucking diminish if you're lying. You know. And I don't really want to be a dead person, but hey. I just can't help it because it's because of isolation and I don't know how to solve it. And I don't know how to act in any other way. So I'm just simply not lying, right? I'm stuck here and I'm not lying about it. And anyone who bothers me, well, you will awaken the dead a little bit more. Maybe there's more dead stuff inside me as well that you're gonna resurrect. This is why I have a very good memory as well, potentially. It sucks to call myself that way, but I'm in like dead space. I'm in such a tight corner of society where like it's hard to breathe, it's hard to do anything, and if you get bothered, like they deserve to die a little bit. You know, they deserve to lose a few things here and there, shatter a few things in their life. Like it's they got to be more careful than that. So do I need to weaponize against all of these things? Yeah, always you can only weaponize with love, right? Against celebrities. Here you can weaponize apparently with a fork. Just fork them up and leave them alone if you in fact cannot trust them. In fact, you just roam around as a normie, like aimlessly, because you can make friends. You just can't trust them with everything. That's kind of like the idea. You can trust people for a certain amount of time, but the best way to do is just trade with them instead of actually like trust with capital letters. It's pretty rough because like normies like break on under pressure, right? They just can't stand pressure. But some people put it on themselves, and if they're normies and they put pressure on themselves, again, they're probably breaking a rule. This is some weird shit, right? Trying to keep track of these things is actually very easy and very important, but also can get kind of tangly because you also have to not break the rules and you have to see if other people not breaking the rules, and they might be lying of who they are and what roles they're playing. But usually, if they're lying, they will break the rules more often, it feels like. What, do we need another cake just to keep track of all the nuances here? So yeah. Fork 'em, boys. Leave notes to shadow people. You can interact that way. Usually it's just people around you that you never really talk to. They're kind of in the shadows. So you can talk with notes. That's your weapon of choice, supposed to be. And you need to learn memes, basically. And then it does feel like it's the other way around. If we're learning memes, we're talking to like Earth. Deep space is water? It makes sense that it's like the other way around. Let me just fix that. Yeah, if you can fall in love with celebrities, that's a whole nother level, to be honest. Because you amplifying this thing, you can amplify, you know, your hunger or your interest. So technically, you can master all these 4 things in a way, all these 4 roles that you can play. And when you face reality, like these things like open up to you because you sort of learn to act a certain way. It's still very difficult, but you can hint at people of like, oh, you know, like in order to be a celebrity of like, oh, I'm just doing a social experiment where I'm like doing this and that. You can just say that, and people will sort of have to believe you. But you have to now play the role. And at least escape the situation as a celebrity, that's still pretty fucking significant. Because you left an impression and escaped as like, oh, I'm actually like supposed to do this. And like you're leaving impressions, right? It's kind of something. But the most important impression you have to do is onto yourself. Because you have to live with yourself. And you cannot live with lies. You just can't. Here's your weapons. Weaponize against them. Yeah, shadow people will take into consideration your stuff. If you leave them notes, very interesting. If you like know that they will pass by and read the notes, and you have to make sure that it's not just being taken away, because it's a whole nother message, right? If a note is just being ripped off, it can have like, you know, 2 weeks lifespan. I don't know. I did left a note. I did all these things basically. I need people's respect. I left a note about the stupid fucking renovation thing. Now I need a fork apparently sometimes to show people what's up, that I'm not afraid to fucking fight. If they come at me, like again, you cannot trust a normie not to fucking attack you just out of nowhere. It's very difficult to do, but you just can't trust them with anything, bro. If you read the vibe, you can sort of like eliminate possibilities. It's not trust, it's just elimination of possibilities. It's like they definitely cannot do that because this a slew of bad things are gonna happen to them. And they very much likely not gonna try or whatever, but you still can't trust them. Because they could be playing other roles, as well as anyone else, which makes things so much more complicated. I'm just saying. But at least knowing the weapons is a good place to start. A really good place. And again, if I just want to switch into a celebrity mode and jump over across these things, but now, like, now I have to, like, respect all of these roles, like, so much equally. Which pisses me off, to be honest. Why is it so complicated? I just want to be, like, celebrity and not dead. That's it, bro. Is it so hard to fucking do that? So yeah, now you see how in schools, it is a very important social experience that you have to build up. Because you get to hang out with all 4 kinds of people who you know. They will separate in those groups, but you will still be able to interact them like up close, and without like too much worrying that something bad is gonna happen. But it's I don't know what it applies to. Who's gonna hear this message? Because I'm not going back to school, am I? Well, you still associate with your classmates for a very long time, especially if as me as a dead person who has all the memories and all the care in the world. And I can remind them too, you know. You don't just hold your own memories, you remind other people of certain things. Or you can twist their memory as well. Just lie about it. They're not in the visor. But they have to actually talk to you, which is very difficult. And they don't want to bother the dead, so I guess they're following the rule, which is annoying. That's why I'm receiving silence. Fuck me, man. Now the question is like, is it really difficult to escape being a dead person? I mean, I feel like I'm liberating myself just by using YouTube in an appropriate way. And if you can socialize even through a distance, I feel liberated that way. I don't feel like people around me are worth my attention anymore. They're not friendly. But they will be once the apocalypse flies by, you know. We'll figure out how they will become friendly. And then they will all become friendly across the world at the same time. So in 2 years, I'll figure out how people around will slowly become friendly. You know, I will look with a smile on my face at them. Like, are you friendly now? Yeah, you can give tears to dead people, and it's gonna liberate them a lot faster. Praying for them is just like hoping that everything is gonna be okay for them. But there's more weapons apparently. So tear. Tear is that. Making some kind of hilarious prank, I guess. It's just emotional stuff. But you have to feel that way. You actually have to squeeze a tear, squeeze uncontrollable laughter. Honestly, Indians are shadow people now? I thought they're on fire, bro. What's wrong? I guess they act as such. I don't know. When they burn out. Normie. So, these need water, which is shock value of some kind. I guess they need horror. I guess they need to be, like, taught a lesson that you can scare the shit out of them. Or be scared of them. I'm not sure. I think be scared of them. Like, oh my god, don't do this, man. But you're not actually feeling that. You're just like expressing horror onto them, just vomiting on them, and it's like they love it. There's some bullshit like that. So the final thing, angry. Somehow anger is supposed to help celebrities. If you can truly get very, very angry at them, which is, you know, when celebrity, like, slowly falls asleep, they slowly turn into a villain, and they don't want to be a villain because bad things will happen to them. So you can wake them up by just, I guess, getting really upset that they're doing something wrong, like actually wrong. Like you can truly like send the message that they're wrong. But when a mob is sending a message and demanding a change for a celebrity, it's like, that's not the point. You can't just demand something from a person. You have to give something in return. And if you give bad vibes in return, like, what the fuck is the point, right? Like, people mob against celebrities when they just like feel like, oh, you have gotten enough. But they can put pressure, and some celebrities might break, but you cannot hold that for too long. You cannot hold a grudge for too long, because you're breaking the rule, all right? You have to have a reason to break the rule. And well, when you're truly angry, you're not angry at a person, you're angry at what the fuck they're doing. And still you're not resenting, you're actually willing to express yourself of what's wrong that they did. And you just spit that in their face. So you can also weaponize yourself with emotions too, simply because these are colored in proper ways. However, only like extreme emotions work, especially when you're dealing with strangers. All right. So you can only express if you have extreme emotion of some kind. Otherwise, people will not care. They will just see you attempting to do something unnatural. You have to like naturally achieve something that's so remarkably difficult to do, right? Crying yourself is a good indication of how difficult these emotions are to achieve. So that's what you gotta do to defend yourself. Very interesting. Let's move on. I still haven't fucking watched any of the videos or talked about anything, which pisses me off. And yet I had so many things to express already and so many things to build on camera, guys. Honestly, this goes so much deeper. There's a whole structure of society, basically, surrounding this. And I'll probably have to break it down one more time because I've done it. I've done with the Shadows, Normie World, and Celebrity World. But I missed the Dead Space. Which is kind of crazy, man. And everything just kind of flips a little bit. Or gets an upgrade. So I might have to redo the video. Because there must be a lot more to it. Trust me, guys. There's deeper levels of like, where's the jail? You know? Where's jail located? While jail is made out of normies, is it for dead people? Well, what? How can you become a celebrity? All these fucking transitional things, questions, right? What can you get from each of these places? But yeah, let's watch the moon, I guess. I'm still like questioning what this emotion actually means, because it's very difficult to say. You know, like there's another thing. You know, this thing is like heated. It's like a weird fire element. And there's this thing. But technically, very similar emotions, right? Where this is like a weird ice element. I need to like figure this out. Because again, this is like a nuclear weapon against a bullet for a person, basically. Literally a bullet. And you have to be aware of these things as well being weaponized against other people and protect them. Like, what the fuck is this dynamic, right? Fucking chessboard, man.
All while the elite fly around private jets constantly, emitting tons of CO2 with their extravagant, luxurious lifestyle, all being fueled by fossil fuels while they lecture you to pay more carbon tax and pay higher.
Yeah, I mean, until you fucking properly adjust your lifestyle and show me your emissions bill, then maybe I will care. Oh, wait, I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. God damn it, bro. You say global warming, all I see is G warning, boys. I'm warning you. I'm warning you. You haven't read the full title. Geo warning, boys. I can't rename this, but this is my global warming, boys. I'm the only one fucking in my own. I'm a planet. I'm my own planet. So I already have a world that's warning you. You know, don't fuck around with stupid ideas. Because I can trade death in more and more efficient ways as I grow. That's the thing that I wanted to express. There's different levels of every single category, different levels of influence, and I am probably like top tier at this point as a dead person, but I still have a question of like, there has to be like a breaking point, right? And probably there's going to be like a test to me. Life is going to throw a lot of shit at me. And once I prove myself, I can transition sort of freely. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, that's so ironic. You can't trust a normie if they act normal all the time. It's like, you can't trust them. Like, it's the most bullshit thing you can do. As if everything is normal all the time. It's impossible. But that's the reason. They often enough break and do some bullshit thing to just return to normal. Often enough. But again, being able to transition between these, like, now you're talking about a whole nother level. And you have to appreciate you have survived until level 3. Level 2 is just to comprehend that you're a dead person or whatever. Fucking, I'm comprehending that in the very late game, bro. I'm gonna be 30 soon. It's kind of late game. I still can't fully comprehend, but I did it on my own, which is what you have to do. You have to spend time on your own and realize these things eventually anyways. So I don't feel special. Well, that sucks. I do feel special on the internet, though. And I do feel special as a dead person who's very vocal about being dead, which is kind of fucking ridiculous, right? It's just a reinforcement of, like, you can't trust normies and people in the news, and people just who are, like, often negative, often, like, below average in terms of positivity, which are normies. They just can't be positive because you can't trust them. So what is the benefit that you can get from a normie? You can sort of like, they leak information. They leak things out. All right. They're negative but if they walk negative all the time, they just bleed out valuables, right? And this is how normies treat each other. If, like, I smell and there's body odor or potentially leak something, I hope that it doesn't open up opportunities, and the conversation is going to be shut down immediately if they try to fucking push me around. I will have to just carry a fork for once to see how people react, because everyone feels everything. Trust me, guys. Everyone feels everything. Body odor is a thing that you just can't hide. You know, you just can't hide yourself. It's impossible. But I'm a dead person. I can stink as much as I want. Thank you very much. And now, because I'm self-aware, I can actually pull this honest move. You know. In fact, there's another move you can make. You just honestly say, yes, I am the ghost. I am the Grim Reaper. I came to kill everyone if I wanted. Meaning that you can also, again, twist these pit against each other. So dead people can easily destroy normie lives. Just completely break them and shatter them. But you have to move on from target to target and haunt them. And potentially that gives you power over them if you can successfully do that. But, like, what is haunting, right? It's not that easy. Again, you have to be self-aware of what you're doing in a proper way to do it, and you have to have reasons. Now, shadow people, can attack celebrities in a way, because these people don't even have an identity. So it's like they can basically say anything. Anything goes. They can just lie. You know, liar, liar is what's going on in here. Technically clown. I think I'll just clown. They can clown around effectively against celebrities. Because shadow people can attract a celebrity as like, oh, I'm the biggest fan, I did this, this, and that. They can just lie into oblivion because they often lie to themselves because, you know, they need help. They just genuinely need help. They can't stop doing weird shit like that. And if effectively they could attract celebrity and just act like a clown next to them, and they would actually get a lot of attention for that. This is so beautiful. What the fuck? Again, you see the elemental dancing around, countering each other, and like, how did nobody discover this? Why am I digging 20 layers deep? Honestly, 200 layers deep into the same concept. Rock, paper, scissors, elemental dragon blast. You know, there's the fourth thing that you have to play. So, rock counters scissors, scissors counter paper, paper counter elemental dragon blast, and elemental dragon blast counters, you know, rock. Because you have to, in order to destroy rock, you have to, like, fucking exhaust a lot of power, man. So, elemental dragon blast. We all agree now that this is how we're gonna play the game, right? Do you want to play rock, paper, scissors, elemental dragon blast? Bam, motherfucker! Bam, what? Oh, I love that. Yeah, so basically people want to play the simplified version, but they're fucking idiots. Like, who doesn't want to fucking add their elemental dragon blast in there? Jesus Christ, man. Alright, so I can lure shadow people into normie land. So how would normies attack shadows then? If it's so fucking disturbing for shadows. Technically it's just light. But who emits the most light is the question. Who's the most lit thing that comes from the normie world? Fucking advent party. Party animal, let's party. Let's be best friends forever. You know, that sort of person. Hey, we gonna be best friends forever. And shadow person is like, no, the pain and suffering of having a friend. You can simplify to boom. Here you go. You can just say it boom, I guess. Rock, paper, scissors, boom. Still got simplified because it's like, what is a boom, bro? I don't know what boom is. Is it a bomb? Kind of. But you need a boom to destroy a rock. You just need that one. You know, it's pretty obvious. This literally, it's a glitch, basically. Boombox is a thing that Laura has a song called Boombox, and she's about to celebrate a birthday as well. Well, look at you, Laura. Let's fucking listen to some of your music. Fuck you, Moon. This is so annoying. What is this video, right? What the fuck? We're just floating around in space now. Space adventure. Summer space adventure, boys. Taking on those vibes. Holy Jesus. What is the last one? Last one has to be pretty good, right? I'll just activate a dragon card, and I think it works. Right? Well, I do get attacked. I would get destroyed by celebrities. You know, it's fucking ritualistic celebrities. Hmm. I don't feel like doing the dragon card. What is a celebrity I'm scared of by default? Hmm? Fucking superhero. I'm here to save you from you being dead and stuff. Oh my god. I don't want that person. I'm gonna turn you on. Fucking genie. It's like, I will grant you 3 wishes, but you have to tell them right now. No! I don't know what I want, man. I haven't experienced life yet, bro. What the fuck? I think it can happen. Genie or Santa. But I am Santa. So maybe I was attacked. Or I stabbed myself so I became a Santa. Alright, Genie. I'll take that one. Alright. It's like Mr. Beast would show up and it's like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, I'm good. I'm just gonna stay dead and yeah. And then he would still ask me, what the fuck do you want? I want to make you happy. It's like, god damn it. You just gained 1 extra wish by being more dead than I expected. You know, that's how you get extra wishes from Genie. You just have to be more dead than expected. Like, oh my god, you're actually more dead in the middle of more deserted place than I expected, man. It's like you find a lamp in a desert, but the Genie doesn't know how big the desert is. But if you say the desert is like fucking 100 kilometers in every single fucking direction, Genie's gonna be like, fuck, you will need 10 wishes from me to basically survive. My mom is going outside soon, so I probably will need a fucking escort mission for that one. My first escort mission. I need that, you know. I gotta suck it up. Fucking genies, man. Now I'm gonna be scared of genies and deserts and lamps. Ah! Not the desert, man! Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm scared. I think we're safe. Let's go to Boombox. Let's celebrate the fucking birthday and just move on with our lives. Oh my god. At least the ending is gonna be good, right? Boom, what? Yeah. See, she's not playing the boom card. She's wrapping the bomb with paper and somehow it works. I don't know, Laura. I don't know how you do that. But she says it's a box, so that makes sense. Oh, boundaries. Look at that valley. She just knows how to disarm bombs, apparently. Very good stuff. I think this is the song that... No. Again, Laura, it comes from fucking Ladybug thing. This one kind of invited me even deeper into bullshit. Because that's something, you know. It's just a very weird thing, like, drag it into a party. Don't do that. No. Maybe I felt like a shadow person. Nah, whatever. Let's keep going. Technically, you are left with normies who will try and detect shadows by all means. It's so weird. Yeah, there's multiple outcomes as well. Many outcomes, but you don't bother dead people. I'm just saying. I'm not to be preyed upon. Cause yes, I do need my best friends, and I will employ you immediately, bro, to be my best friend. And I need like 1,000 of these. All right? Like a necklace of best friends. See, like, I can keep you somewhere in my box of best friends. So it's a very interesting tactic of like, welcome to the party, but you have to focus on me. Am I right? You can do that? Can you? Because you'll be fucking attacked by all kinds of fucking losers, because I'm weak and stuff, and I'm introverted as well. Good luck. It's like Ariana is surrounded like by black dudes, and it's like they're gonna pick on you, and you still have to focus on Ari as much as possible, because like she's the fucking prize, right? Like it's kind of crazy vibe, isn't it? Let me pull my cock. Yep. Maybe. Alright, so before I go to sleep, as a shadow person, you can attack. Oh, if you're very angry, of course. You have to have a very good reason. Where's my emojis? There's a fourth set of emojis technically, but not really. Only if you truly care about someone, you can pull them down. So you can pull turn celebrity into a normie, and then interact with them as if you're superior. But if you're a dead person, you're not supposed to just wish for celebrity to show up. You're not supposed to disrespect Genie. Genie's only trying to help you. You know, he didn't came here to grant you the biggest wishes of all time and to get cheated on. He just wants to help you out. And this is why, you know, you don't transition straight from dead person into celebrity, right? Unless you actually pull celebrity down into a normie and take their place. That's possible, guys. Everything's possible, basically. If you put your mind to it. God damn. Also, that means it's possible to kill a celebrity. I mean, obviously. I don't want to talk about it, though. Because that would be fucking immoral. Oh, wait. Certain people, you know, have to be reputationally killed. Sent into oblivion. To fight for their lives. As a way of life. I wonder who deserves that at the moment. And how you do that. But, I mean, trade death. If maybe you can pull celebrity into a normie, then have to trade, so it's like double Joker thing. Where you have to pull the impossible things. To just pull celebrity and turn it into a normie is hard enough. It's like, what's the point, right? What's the point? I have a point because I know the trick is that, well, you care about them so much. But when they turn into a normie, like, you actually have to see the difference. See what makes them different. Like, truly, from everyone else. Why you care about them so much. It's a very tough thing. So, and then trading death is also thing, like where you hide bad intentions until you're like changing the board, basically. Of like, actually, I want to switch places entirely. That means from a normie, go to a dead person. From celebrity to a normie to a dead person. In one interaction. Or get poisoned. This is ridiculous shit, man. This, whatever this is, it's actually like nuclear weapon against every single person that exists right now. Like, there's no escape. I'm just thinking, oh, that's cool. Happy summertime, everyone.